If you feel like you're stuck in life, but you find yourself constantly saying, but I have to this, or but I have to that, I'm going to really challenge your thinking in this video. Today is all about recognizing closed-mindedness in yourself. I'm Jennifer, and I help midlifers who are stuck get unstuck. One thing that I feel is 100% true is that anytime we catch ourselves saying, I have to, we need to pump the brakes, because I believe that there's very little in this world that we have to. Like, no, you don't. Let's talk about the first way that you may be able to know that you are being more closed-minded. You might have difficulty with differing ideas. You resist having your ideas challenged. So instead of being curious of talking to other people and finding out what they think, you get frustrated as soon as they don't see your way of doing things. I know that we're all experiencing this in this day and age. It can be incredibly frustrating, but if some of us don't practice more open-mindedness, then others won't learn to practice open-mindedness and we'll be stuck in this loop. Another way is that you're quicker to state your opinions rather than asking questions. So if someone else is talking and you're sitting there waiting to share your perspective and you're not thinking about what can I ask this person to help them better clarify so that I can get greater understanding of what they think, then you may tend toward a more closed-minded demeanor in your exchanges with people. Next, you may focus more on being understood than understanding. So when there's a disagreement, or even if you and someone else are trying to understand each other, you are going to be more worried about whether they understand your perspective than whether or not you are fully grasping theirs. Share down in the comments, what is one common way or topic that you routinely feel misunderstood about? And how do you think that you may have been practicing closed-mindedness in that conversation? Was the other person less open-minded to listening to you because you were more closed-minded toward them? Both sides need to take personal responsibility for sharing their own views, but also being open-minded about hearing the others. Way that you can recognize that you are being more of a closed-minded individual than an open-minded individual is feeling a mental or emotional resistance. So if using phrases like, I could be wrong, but as a mere gesture is common, but this might cause kind of like faking that you're open-minded, but you're really just giving a paraphrase in order to move on to your own idea. And you might not truly be considering that alternative viewpoint. It's kind of like cheating. Cheater, cheater. In addition to that, you may be struggling to hold conflicting thoughts simultaneously. That can be a sign of closed-mindedness. So if you are dismissing or ignoring ideas that don't align with existing beliefs, open-minded individuals can consider different perspectives without losing their ability to think critically. If you get flustered or frustrated when somebody else is explaining and you can't think clearly to express your ideas or listen to the other party, then you may kind of have that emotional block that's keeping you more narrow or closed-minded. You might be lacking a sense of humility. Humility is not humiliation. Humility is just the acknowledgement that you're human, you have faults, and you can be in error. And when our ego takes over, we tend to not be able to have a lot of humility and understand that there are thoughts bigger than us and situations bigger than us and concepts bigger than us that we can't understand. We don't know everything. And the belief of knowing it all or always being right can really fuel and keep you more closed-minded. I have to be really mindful of that personally. I'm a Sagittarius, and so I love to learn and teach and learn and teach. And one way that Sagittarius can kind of be in its shadow and be a little bit annoying is like, well, I learned this, so this is the way you do things. And what I have found is that I may have tried to do that a little bit with family members in the past, but what I try to do now is find out all the different perspectives, which I'll never know all of them. Listen to me. I'm going to learn all the different perspectives in the world. That's how much I love to learn. But like one of the things I'm particularly drawn to is understanding different dogmas of faith and sharing with people like, hey, it can look any way you want to, because I do really feel like that is going to be a component that heals the world. A lot of people are very closed-minded about faith, but what they don't realize is they don't have to believe what I believe. They don't have to believe what you believe. They just have to believe in believing until they figure out what that looks like for them. And it really interests me, all of the different, not religions, but just all of the different principles and dogmas and styles of recognizing spirituality in our world, that if I can bring out all those different colors of thought processes pertaining to that, then somebody might go, oh my gosh, like that totally resonates with me. I can have faith in that thing outside of myself. Whether you may be close-minded is behaviors, ways that you're acting that might reveal that you're close-minded. So first, we have an unfortunate behavior of blocking others from speaking or shutting down conversations. If you are so off-put by something that's being said that you don't even allow a conversation to continue because it's opposite or outside of what you think, then that is really a true sign of close-mindedness. Trying to interrupt or dominate discussions makes it difficult for others to express their views, and if they can't express themselves, then it's a very closed conversation. Another behavior that someone who's closed-minded might present with is dismissing different perspectives based on superficial factors. Judging the premise of an argument or a thought belief based on someone's career path or their upbringing or their cultural background takes away from the discussion at hand and is a way of working around and avoiding talking about the topic and not wanting to be more open-minded about discussing it. Unfortunately, some people who are really closed-minded might attack someone's character instead of addressing their point of view, which can also end discussions. And then everything ends up being closed and we can't get to know each other or move forward with mature conversation. It really prevents engaging in opposing viewpoints. And also, if you are somebody that feels like things are changing too quickly and you're resistant to exploring new ways of finding solutions or new ways of doing things, I've seen that kind of person. People who really struggle with change and they get hyper focused on like, this is too much, I can't handle this. They might need to take a step back and be like, okay, how am I thinking a little bit closed-minded about this and open up so that I can be willing to move toward new experiences or information or technologies related to the change. Notice I said willingness there, right? So the honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness that we've been talking about, they all interplay as we've discussed before. So recognizing some of those emotional or behavioral indicators of closed-mindedness is really an opportunity for personal growth, which is why I'm here. I'm trying to help you guys get unstuck. And if you're stuck in a way of thinking the way you've always thought, then you might be being closed-minded, but you can practice ways to become more open-minded about all things in your life, really your career, your family, your spiritual beliefs. It's important that we are willing to at least be open-minded about things, and it creates a better society. So cultivating open-mindedness in yourself can lead to more fulfilling relationships, better decision-making, and a deeper understanding of our world and finding your elusive purpose, which we want to do because I want you guys getting out of that 9 to 5 just like I did. Like I said at the beginning, if you guys are saying I have to or I can't or any of those things, that's not true. You absolutely 100% can. You're just being a little closed-minded. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like or subscribe down below so that we can reach more people who are trying to change the way that they operate so that they can be happier in the world, create a better space, be more productive, help other individuals, because that's what it's really about. Next, I'll be moving on to those action steps that I mentioned. What are the small ways that you can work day by day to create more open-mindedness in your life? And then I've also got another series that I'm going to start related to fear. I think it's super important that we talk about all of the fear that is hovering around in the corners while we're trying to execute this change and keeps us stuck. So much more to come. Thank you for joining me for this video today. I hope you found it helpful. Catch you on the next one. Ciao for now.